This is One-on-One. We're celebrating the 20th anniversary of a fabulous series called Classroom Close-Up. We celebrate educators, others who make a huge difference in the classroom. Let me introduce our special guest today. She is Coleen Weiss-Magasic. She is a biological sciences teacher at the great West Milford Township High School. Good to see you.
Hi.
Is it not a fact, before we see this clip from Classroom Close-Up, you did not plan to go into teaching?
No, I did not.
Is it not a fact you want to be a doctor?
I did.
What happened?
I did student teaching for something to fall back on.
And?
I loved it. I know it sounds silly, but
It doesn't sound silly.
On Fridays I couldn't wait for the weekend to be over so I could go back on Monday and do it again. And then I got really excited thinking they were actually going to pay me to do this.
You said that to your husband, didn't you?
I did.
You said they pay me for this.
And every once in a while when I complain that it's a miserable day, he says to me, "Why do you think they call it work?" And I say, "It's never been like work." This is my 24th year.
24. And by the way, two of your sisters who are here, of the 8 siblings in your family, 3 are educators, right?
Yes.
But let me do this. Let's set up this clip. This clip is about an initiative. You won the HIP Award. The HIP Award, the full name is?
Frederick L. Hip.
Named after the former director of the NJEA.
Dr. Hip, who's director of NJEA. It's the Excellence for Education grant, and it was created for innovative programs in education. And so our program is 5th graders working with high schoolers, and the 5th graders are growing trout in the classroom, and the high schoolers are taking them out in the field and doing stream studies with them, and then they come to the high school and they dissect fish with them, and then the high schoolers do some of their own research separate from that, independent from that. Absolutely.
Well, we've seen it. You want to let everybody else see it?
Absolutely.
We can do that?
Yeah.
Want to introduce it?
So here's our clip from Classroom Close-Up on swimming upstream.
You're taking my job. Cut it out. Let's go.
Today we're at Westbrook Park making science come alive. We have 5th graders and high school students coming together. The high school kids are really great mentors to my 5th graders. We get together with them a couple times a year, and they really get excited to come and see the high school students, and I think the high school students as well. It gives them kind of like a little buddy, a little friend to come out here and show them how to do things and take the science at their level and bring it down to our level and show where we're going.
Oh, there's a snail.
Yeah, look at that one.
We found 2 spiders and a worm.
So when we arrive here, the students set up their stations. We break up into groups. They introduce themselves to each other, and then they head down to the stream.
We're doing some stream testing. We were here in the fall testing water temperature, water quality, pH level.
They take a water sample back up to the pavilion, and then they look for macroinvertebrates. Once they get up to the pavilion, they start looking through, trying to find evidence of water quality, and different macroinvertebrates have different water quality requirements. So we're looking for the ones that are going to have a high water quality requirement, because trout require good, clean, cold, oxygen-laden water. Mr. Rennie always wanted trout in his classroom, and so I was aware of the Frederick L. Hip grant program. And when the application was available for us to do, I went ahead and wrote the grant. And we got funded. The first thing it paid for was Mr. Rennie's trout.
I'm currently growing some trout in my classroom. We got them from eggs, and the idea is to release them into a trout stream in the spring. And the stream that we have selected is fed by the stream here at Westbrook Park, and we are looking to see what kind of water quality we'll be feeding into the stream to make sure that the trout that we will release will have success in the wild.
Some of the misnomers about teenagers are just so destroyed when you see them together with younger students. They're kind and they're generous and they're great role models, and they just really look after the kids and work closely with them, and it allows them to kind of revisit their own childhood and, you know, get excited about things that they used to be excited about. For the younger kids, they have these role models that they look up to. I think that it's really simple to get kids outside to do things. All you need to do is have a question that you want them to answer. They're kind of watching something and they're collecting data. It doesn't have to be complicated. You just have to do it. It's just put on your shoes and go outside. Kind of like my mom used to say.
So let me get this straight. Now, your mom used to say exactly what?
Put on your shoes and go outside.
Is that a lot of what it is?
That's a lot of what it was when we were young. That's not a lot of what it is for kids today. And that's one of the reasons that I felt so passionate about and feel so passionate about doing things that get students outside. They can't tell a maple tree from an oak tree. They don't understand the beauty of nature and how it works together. And so this project in particular, students go to the stream, they look at the water quality. As they're looking at the water quality, they're thinking about the trout. The high school students understand the relationship of the trees to the water and what that water quality means. The fifth graders understand what trout need because they're raising them, and then they come together and just have this great conversation.
We have boys who are 9 and 11 in the public schools in Montclair, but I also have a son who's much older. And I think to myself, how great it is when they're interacting. What's it like for you to see those high school kids with the fifth graders? What's that like?
It's amazing. It's the first time that we had fifth graders come to the high school for dissection. There were 48 students
Dissection
in the room of fish.
Go ahead.
There were 48 students in the room, a bunch of adults, and you could have heard a pin drop. Everybody was focused. The high school students are supportive. They direct the fifth graders, but they don't do it for them. The fifth graders look up to them. It excites them about science. It's every stereotype about high school students is broken down right at that moment. And you just see these really caring individuals who are knowledgeable, experts in their field, and they're just excited to be that.
How do you see your role in all that?
A facilitator.
What does that mean?
I set the stage for them to explore, and then I guide them through that exploration, but I don't tell them what they should find, and I don't tell them where they should go with that. And so I explain to them how to do the dissection, and then I help them as they're identifying the parts, but I don't say to them, okay, do this and this and this, and then stop, because it's more exciting if it's their discovery.
Question before I let you out of here. A series like Classroom Close-Up, celebrating its 20th anniversary, a great series that can be seen on our sister station, our partners at NJEA TV, the public television station in New Jersey we're proud to be a part of. How important is a series like that?
Extremely. It just puts in the public eye how great education is, how excited teachers are, how many wonderful things are going on in the classroom. There's just so much positive energy in education, and unfortunately we don't always see that, but that's what we need to see. That's what we need to embrace. Kids are learning, teachers are excited. We need to see that.
And finally, a convention like this is great because?
Rejuvenates you. It's like
Does
a little
it?
shot in the arm. Yeah,
You've been coming here for a few years now?
Just a couple.
But still?
Absolutely, absolutely. If nothing else, you pick up on the enthusiasm and you go back and think, I can do this.
Passion after all these years.
Yeah.
It's great. Listen, I want to thank you very much for joining us as part of the 20th anniversary of Classroom Close-Up. You're a credit to your profession, and many students have benefited from it, and those of us who are parents particularly appreciate it. I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
you became a student teacher at the time.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for
Great
having
job.
me.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, Wells Fargo, activists in cooperation with the American Medicine Chest Challenge, the law firm of Gibbons PC, Cohn Resnick, and by New Jersey Natural Gas. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.